Donald Trump is a public health and safety risk. Let's watch.
We hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light. And I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting.
Get the right folks who could.
Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me. So we'll see. But the whole concept of the light, the way it kills it in 1 minute, that's pretty powerful.
So Donald Trump suggesting that UV light and injecting disinfectant into the human body could be a treatment for COVID-19. That is not true. That is incredibly unsafe. It's a terrible thing to even suggest as the president. So why did he say that? Where did it come from? Well, according to Mediaite, Trump was riffing off of some still developing research presented by Bill Bryan, an official from the science and technology branch of the Department of Homeland Security, who had just detailed the half-life of the coronavirus under various heat, humidity, and light conditions. Bryan noted that the virus seemed to decay quicker under the ultraviolet light from the sun. And when it came to his statement about disinfectants, he was referring to, the virus on surfaces, not in the human body. But we have a moron running the country. I mean, running the country, I think, is a strong way of putting it, destroying the country. And now places like Maryland are reporting that they have to issue a public statement because so many of their constituents have been contacting local officials to ask about whether they can use disinfectants to treat coronavirus.
Okay, so this is the difference between us and the mainstream media. Today, the New York Times had a story about how some experts say that this could be dangerous. No.
Oh, my God.
No.
Oh, my God.
It's not some experts.
Oh, my God.
It's all experts.
Oh, my God.
It's all experts. If you drink Clorox or Lysol, you will die. Don't do that. Don't, under any circumstance, do that. Do not inject it. Do not drink it. Do not consume it. And it's not. And the fact that mainstream media, for a long time, finally, I think this has kind of broken the camel's back a little bit. We'll get to that in a second. But even, including this morning, like, I don't want to offend Republicans. I mean, I'll make it a 50-50 issue, because I want political correctness rather than medical correctness and factual correctness. No, it's not some experts. It's all experts. And secondly, guys, we had the courage to say that Donald Trump is stupid. Now you say, well, Cenk, everybody says that now. They didn't say it on day one. They didn't even say it 3 years in. Most of mainstream media still doesn't say it. They're still having a nonsense debate about, well, I mean, what's the strategy behind this? Is this actually a strategy to do distractions? And you know what, Andy, the way that he's playing to his base? No, moron of epic proportions. He believes you can nuke a hurricane. He believes that the noise from wind causes cancer. We can go on and on. So when he heard the doctor say, and it's not just doctor, we'll get to that in a second, but hey, you know what? Disinfectant works on surfaces. He's like, oh, cool. Maybe we could use it inside the body. Hey, schmuck, ask it in private. Ask it in private to the doctor. Don't go out in front of all the cameras. Maybe if we put it into the lungs, it does a job on the lungs. Yes, that's true. It does do a job on the lungs. It'll kill you because it'll destroy your lungs and then you will die. So the UV light, pay attention, schmuck. What the doctors were talking about is you put UV light in a room. It kills the virus in the air. In fact, UV light, is a disinfectant, but is dangerous to human beings. It can cause skin cancer and other ailments. What they're talking about is something called far UVC, okay? And that actually can kill the virus, but not harm humans. The part where they explain that you could use it because it doesn't harm humans is the relevant part. So you don't then zap human beings with it or get it or a very big light, powerful light into the body. The only person who speaks like that out loud in front of national cameras is a person so stupid they don't even realize they're stupid.
I don't know. Maybe he knows something that we don't know. Maybe he knows something that scientists and doctors don't know. Maybe he should inject himself with bleach and we should see how that works out. I mean, he has no problem, putting the lives of others at risk constantly by promoting unproven treatments for this virus. It starts off with hydroxychloroquine, which, by the way, we'll talk about it later in the show today. The FDA has finally issued a warning so people don't use it to treat coronavirus. And now he's moved on to this nonsense about using disinfectants, right? Now, of course, later he backpedaled when he realized, oh, maybe there's too much backlash and this could hurt me politically. But before he did that, there were reporters who wanted some clarity on what he was saying. So here's Jonathan Karl, reporter in the press pool, asking about what Trump had just said. He wants some clarification like everyone else. Let's hear what Trump had to say.
You mentioned the idea of cleaners, the bleach and isopropyl alcohol you mentioned. There's no scenario that could be injected into a person, is there? I mean,
no, I'm here to talk about the findings that we had in the study. We don't do that within that lab, at our lab. So
Are we simplifying
through
too
injection.
much?
We're talking about almost a cleaning and sterilization of an area.
Right.
Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work, but it certainly has a big effect if it's on a stationary object.
All right. So the first person you heard from there is Bill Bryan, the researcher I was telling you about earlier, who had talked about disinfectants on surfaces. And so he had to be diplomatic. He had to avoid saying what we can clearly and honestly say, which is Donald Trump's a moron, and you shouldn't listen to him when he talks about injecting disinfectant in your body. But what's hilarious about it is Trump felt the need to interject because I think in that moment he realized how stupid his statement was. I was talking about this, maybe the surfaces. Yeah, we all know that disinfectant works on surfaces, you idiot. Like what? Like this is our lives. This is what our lives have turned into. The president should be smarter than the smartest American, right? Like I'm not particularly intelligent. You're not particularly intelligent. We're average human beings, right? I'm saying that the president should be more intelligent than like the top physicist in the country. The president is a moron, and it's devastating because people are literally dying as a result. Literally dying right now at this very moment. It's insane.
Sometimes you have a wild idea in your head and you wonder about it, right? What do? Maybe you look it up online, you call a friend, you ask. And if your friend is a doctor, for example, and it's a medical question, maybe you ask him. Do you go out and tell everybody, I got this great new idea. We take Windex and we squeeze it right up our noses, and and that'll cure everything. Do you say it in front of millions and millions of people and risk being embarrassed? Do you think like, well, disinfectant working on the surface, that don't seem like that'd work on the human body, but maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll ask someone, I'll whisper it in a corner, or I'll ask. No, he doesn't know. He just doesn't know how stupid he is. So he's like, it works on surfaces. So we're going to look into it. And we're going to see what happens. And look, guys, here's another thing the mainstream media won't say and will say. That's why you should watch us, because we're not afraid to tell you things that are true. If you're a Donald Trump supporter and you thought, hey, he nailed it. That was a good idea, man. Maybe we do the Clorox or the Lysol right into the lungs, right? Okay. You're just as dumb as he is. And maybe even dumber because you look up to him. Now, the rest of the media will never tell you that because, I need ratings and the Trump viewers are watching and I can't offend anyone and I need access. We don't need access and we don't need any MAGA guys watching. If you think Donald Trump is a great leader, after seeing this, you're one of the dumbest people I know. So you are dumb. Just live with it.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.